Okay, let's talk about a number. A number that, for so many people, is the ultimate goal, the big prize, 6 figures. It's this benchmark we all know, but for most people who chase it, it somehow stays just out of reach. So today, we're going to dig into why. Why do so many smart, hardworking people try to hit this milestone and fall short?
$100,000. Just let that number sit there for a second. It's more than just money, isn't it? It's become this powerful cultural symbol. For years, it's been the shorthand for success, for security, for that feeling of freedom that you finally arrived.
And that's the real puzzle, right? If everybody wants it and so many people are putting in the work, why do so few actually get there? The answer isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about how we think, the strategies we use or don't use, and maybe even how we define what success even is.
So, to really understand why the journey often goes wrong, we first have to understand the destination itself. This whole idea of 6 figures isn't just a random number, it's an idea that's woven deep into our culture.
I mean, think about it. Hitting 6 figures is treated like this official moment where you've made it. It's validation. It tells you your skills are valuable, your career path was the right one, and all that hard work paid off. It's the difference between just surviving and actually thriving. And that emotional pull is what makes the chase so incredibly intense.
And that intense drive leads a lot of people straight into our first major roadblock, what we can call the effort trap. It's this place where good intentions and backbreaking work just don't get you where you want to go.
Does that sound at all familiar? You hear it all the time. It's the voice of millions of people who are absolutely burning themselves out. They're clocking 50, 60, 70 hours a week, thinking that if they just push harder, if they just put in one more hour, they'll finally break through. But they just stay stuck.
And this right here explains why. There's this fundamental misunderstanding at the heart of the struggle. The common belief is simple. The more hours I work, the more money I'll make. But the reality? It's not about hours, it's about value. Your income is a reflection of the value you create. You could work 80 hours a week on stuff that doesn't matter much and get nowhere. Or you could work 20 hours a week on something incredibly valuable and see your income explode. It's all about shifting your focus from input to output.
But here's the thing, even if you're focused on creating value, it's not enough if you're pointing all that energy in the wrong direction. And that brings us to the next critical problem, the strategy gap.
This is a massive insight, you know? The reason most people don't reach their goal isn't because they're lazy, it's not a lack of work ethic. It's because they're using the wrong map. They have all the motivation, all the energy, but they're just driving in circles or heading straight for a dead end.
And here are some classic examples of what those flawed maps look like. First up, chasing trends. Jumping on the latest hot thing without actually building real, deep skills. Next, there's the classic trap of confusing being busy with being productive, filling your calendar with tasks that don't actually move you closer to your goal. A huge one is ignoring high-leverage skills, things like negotiation, public speaking, or sales, skills that act like a multiplier on everything else you do. And finally, maybe the simplest one of all, just failing to ask for what you're worth.
So, after all that, after looking at the effort trap and the strategy gap, we have to ask an even deeper question. Are we even aiming at the right thing in the first place? We're so conditioned to see success as just a number on a paycheck. But what if that's the ultimate trap? Let's think about a richer way to define it. Is success really about a number? Or is it about things like autonomy, having control over your own time and your own life? Or mastery, that deep satisfaction you get from becoming amazing at something you care about? Or purpose, the feeling that the work you do actually matters? And so, I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. Maybe the obsession with the $100,000 finish line is the very thing that keeps us from winning the race that actually matters. What if, instead of chasing a number, we started focusing on building a life defined by freedom and by skill and by meaning? Maybe that's the real secret to not just hitting our financial goals, but finding something so much more valuable along the way.